up, guys? Let me fix this camera. Hey, what up, everybody? We in the building, people. Ooh, it feels good to be live. Got to get this link out to Coach A. All right, so what up? What up? Trying to get this link sent to Coach A real quick. And then we should be up and running. How's everybody doing? All right, so almost ready. What? What the world? Oh, wrong inbox. All right, so give me 1 second. Sending this to A now, and then we are ready. Sorry, I was running a little bit late. I was gonna jump on a couple minutes early, but it's cooking for the family on the grill. You know how that is, right, guys? Got to cook on the grill every now and then. All right, so send him the link. But let's talk a little bit of bowling time. All right, so how's everybody doing? 4th of July is right around the corner. I hope everybody's getting ready and plan on being safe. Summertime bowling. Summertime is a time where you get your game together, right? Where we work on our mechanics to assure ourselves that if we want a tournament bowl or bowl in the fall, or this is the time where we get our game ready. So, being that this is that time, I hope everybody's maximizing it. And if anybody ever has any questions, please feel more than free to let me know. Okay, now I'm going to put one more thing into the chat. So, man, new night for the Breakpoint, which is Sunday nights. I almost want to go back to Friday nights, even though Sundays is better for me. I think it might be better for everyone. There's Coach A.
Yo.
What up, dude?
What up?
How's everything going?
People on TikTok are exhausting.
You still fighting a good fight, huh?
Always. Never ends.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that, though.
It's just really difficult to argue with against stupid.
What's up, Revs? How you doing, brother? Yeah, well, guess what?
What's up, Revs?
Argue with stupid. That means you're arguing with 80% of the population.
Yeah, maybe.
It's pretty big. Do I want to know what you guys are arguing about?
Yeah, it's just true crime.
Oh yeah, man. See that's a even split in the middle.
It's a murder case. And it's amazing how many people feel that the murderer or the alleged murderer is not guilty via the excuse of self-defense.
Rev said I argue on TikTok. I just post dumb stuff. Well, here's the thing, right? Everything is subjective, man.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, it is, but it isn't.
No, it's not true. Everything is not subjective. Everything is not up for interpretation. There are things that are factual, which are objective. And I hate this argument because I hear it all the time. Like there's so many people on the platform who say, "Well, this is my truth. This is how I see it." No, there's no such thing as your truth and my truth. There is truth, which is objective facts that are provable, and there is subjectivity, which is how somebody
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
feels.
whoa, 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 whoa! Time out, eh? Time out. You see that's where you're wrong. Because you're acting as if everybody can understand that point, and they cannot. That's why your argument is
No,
idiotic at best. Because you're going to argue till you're blue in the face.
it doesn't matter if they
I
understand it or not. It doesn't make it not factual.
well, that's true.
It doesn't. I don't care if they're so incompetent that they can't comprehend the idea. The idea still stands.
It does still stand, but the question is see, I don't have the time to argue with them to make them understand it.
Oh well, that's why I'm around.
There you go. Now we have a question in the chat here. I'm gonna pop this up here like this. It says all the bowling coaches say to stay or keep your hand behind the ball and up the back. My problem is if you stay up the back of the ball or behind at the release, would the ball just go end over end? Help me explain. That is actually a very, very, very awesomely great question because a lot of people perceive that just the same way you do. So the answer is it will still hook. It will still hook. The difference is the hook becomes more controllable. So when you get around the ball, it goes a little longer, but it takes off when it's really becomes really responsive to friction, right? When you're up the back of it, it reads the lane a little earlier. Even, however, the shape becomes so much more controllable. Hey, you can jump in if you like. I have to go and check something real quick because I'm still cooking on the grill, so I do apologize.
I have to disagree with one point, and that's the rotation being relative to when the ball reads the lane.
Okay.
Rotation doesn't dictate when the ball reads the lane. Rotation simply dictates how it responds to the friction.
Okay, I can give you that. However, from my perspective, I feel like
no,
you know wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No,
Wait.
I'm not letting you make that argument because that's not true. It's not a perspective thing.
Wait a minute. You are right. Because the only time I get around the ball now is when I'm way left. Like if my feet are on 35 and I'm playing 35, 20 to 5, I'm still behind the back of the ball. Unless yeah, I'm still behind the back of the ball. I have to see something to make me get around the corner.
Right, but we're talking about physics and we're talking about the reaction of the core inside the ball.
Yeah.
Because that's what determines when the ball does what it does. And that's why it's not your rotation that determines that. It's your tilt.
Right, but it's also where you're I guess it becomes too where you're where you're throwing it once you're throwing it on. But I mean, I used to have that belief that you want to be anytime you're immediately getting left to get around it. But I don't think that that's accurate. I think that you can be as far as you want and be behind the ball and still get the shape that you're looking for.
Well, getting around it or creating rotation simply makes the ball change direction more and react more towards the friction. A lot of people have trouble getting the ball to corner once they start moving left. You don't have that problem because you have a 400 and whatever rev rate, but your average league person doesn't have that rev rate. So for them, the only option to get the ball to create that corner to slow down enough is to come around it and use axis rotation, not to be confused with axis tilt.
That's a whole nother ball game.
Now, what you said is true about staying behind the ball creates more control because it doesn't have as much left to right movement. because it doesn't react as hard to friction, and it's also easier to be consistent doing the same thing coming up the back of it rather than coming around, because you don't know to what degree you're going to come around the ball. You may feel that you're at a perfect 35 or 45 degrees in rotation, but in reality, one time you might be 45 and the next time you might be 33.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, the ball is going to react differently in those two shots, even though you may think that you threw it exactly the same.
Look at this. We got ethics and abide by the gram in the building. So here's the thing, right? And this is what I was telling AB today. Because AB is like, Coach, I need to get after it. I need to get after it. I need to get after it. And I'm like, why? She's like, because I'm standing on 28. I'm like, nah, just stay behind it. Take your time, get behind it. And I mean, that's when she's throwing power shots too. So I also find it that when I'm left and I'm behind it, I can throw balls like the solid and I retain more energy than when I'm getting around it. But again, I don't really try to get around it too much anymore. Wait, did I on Thursday? No, I did not stay. Even though I had to jump. Remember, I told you when the lanes broke down on Thursday, because when I was on Scorpion, even when they broke down and I jumped left, yep. I still was behind that. I never got around it. Never had
to. So Molosky, it's not the core is more important or the hand is. The hand creates what the core does.
Yeah. Yeah. So listen. Being behind the ball is a big deal. I guess the question becomes, what kind of release are you using? I mean, ball speed, rev rate, all those things come into play too.
One hand, two hand, no thummy.
Yeah, all that comes into play. All that tells the core when and how, layout comes into play with all those things too. I mean, layout isn't the hugest thing in the world, but depending on what you're bowling on, it can be very impactful. Hey, Revs, I get it. Got to spend time with the grandkid, man. I'm cool with that. When I do it, the ball goes straight. You see that? Hey, Rev said when he get right behind it, the ball goes straight.
Huh.
What's good, ethics? Graham, my dude.
The return of the Graham.
Return of Graham. He must have been sniffing around and realized Stephanie was here last time.
Yep.
The OG's in the house. So listen, right? Being behind the ball is good. But if you don't, releasing all that stuff matters. I mean, it really does. And if you're behind the ball, are you under the equator being behind the ball? Or are you on top of the ball? Rev said that wasn't a joke.
Rev, that's why I was funny.
Rev, that's what I'm asking you though. When you behind the ball, are you on top of it? Are you under the equator? Do you get what I'm saying, A?
Yep.
Because if you're on top of the ball, of course it's just going to run straight. I mean, are you exiting from thumb first under the equator and then it runs straight? Or, I mean, you got to send me a video showing me so I can look at it, or A can look at it and we can tell you exactly what it is that you're doing to cause it to be straight.
If it's revs, I can answer that question. If we're talking about revs specifically, if we're talking about Molesky, then we need a video.
Right. Well, tell Revs what he's doing. I'll be right back.
All right. I think we already went over this in Discord, Revs, didn't we?
Well, apparently not, because he's like, oh, Jesus.
Rez, did we go over this in Discord, or was that somebody else? I can't remember. My memory's so bad. Not for Notepad, I would be going crazy. So when I move left, my hand at release should be at 9 o'clock position. I'm getting confused. Wait, Molesky, are you lefty? When you say my hand should be at 9 o'clock, okay, so we're assuming then that 12 o'clock is the top of the ball. I'm gonna make an assumption, which I shouldn't do. I'll ask for clarification, but I'm assuming when you say 9 o'clock, you're talking up and down, right? So top of the ball is 12 o'clock, bottom of the ball is 6 o'clock. So if that's what you're talking when you're talking about time, then 9 o'clock or anywhere lower is good. Above 9 o'clock is not so good. And it's not necessarily your hand, but your fingers. You want your fingers to be at that point. Because that way the ball comes out of your thumb first, and then your fingers just roll forward. And then the amount of rotation from left to right, so your two fingers going around the ball, that's going to determine how the ball reacts to the friction. So the more it comes around the side of the ball after the thumb's out, the harder it's going to come off the friction. It's like a spinning tire. So it's going to be spinning to the side. When it hits the dry, it's going to take off just like if you were like doing a burnout. So whatever direction that's facing, that's where it's going to go. So if it's more forward, then the core takes over, right? And with the core taking over, it's going to make what I used to call I used to call this the button hook, meaning the ball only shifts from right to left if you're a right-hander, or a wrong-hander, I should say. It's only going to shift from right to left slightly. Whereas if you come around it, now it's going to go much harder to the left. I hope all that makes sense. And for revs, if we didn't go over this in Discord, which I thought we did, your biggest challenge is you're actually breaking your wrist backwards in your backswing. So it never has the chance to come down and get back under the equator of the ball. Now you're strong enough to where when you come out of it, you have that kind of like flicking motion, and you're strong enough that you're still creating rev rate. However, your fingers are still above that point. And the reason they're above that point is because your wrist is breaking back in your backswing. Yes. Keep it flat, or you can start to bring it forward. I cock my wrist forward, and at least I did in the beginning, just as a habit, so that I know it wasn't going back. Because I had this problem, I don't know, like 20 years ago. And the way I corrected it is I, just like everything else, I overemphasized. So for me, I cupped the heck out of the ball to the point where it almost looks like I'm holding a football. So there's no way that my fingers are going to get above that point. Now, you don't have to be that drastic, but for me, that just helped me to learn, because overemphasizing is an easier way to learn things.
Easier way to manipulate the body.
Yeah.
See, my starting position, I'm in a negative hand position.
Yeah, I know. Don't remind me.
Hey, I'm still in the high 400, so apparently I'm doing something right.
Well, it doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you finish.
And that's exactly right. And I finish. Sorry, guys, for eating, but I ain't getting no barbecue because I don't need meat.
But the challenge Revs has is his hands in the negative position, but it never comes back forward.
That's because he's using the left part of his brain.
That doesn't make any sense.
Dude, lefties, a little slow. I'm just picking that.
We're not the ones that are built wrong. It's the majority of you guys.
Hey, you don't chalk me in there with the you guys. I'm lucky too. I can do everything equally though, so I'm good.
Yeah, you're amphibious.
I'm curious, what coaches tell you to be up the back of the ball but don't tell you how?
He might be just speaking in general terms, as in like YouTube coaches.
Oh, okay.
I know ethics. That was supposed to be a joke. Calm down. Glad.
What I mean?
You said I could do things with both hands, and I said that's because you're amphibious, and ethics is correcting me.
Oh.
Which either means he's the only one that got the joke, or he actually thought I was serious.
Amphibious is the ambidextrous, huh?
Just like once upon a time, you only ate carrots, so you were a veterinarian. And nobody hated on you for that. You and your rabbit food.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Bro, watch yourself, man.
Or what?
I'm going to take the second forward and punch you in the eye.
It's okay. Get the first one for free.
Nurse on Saturday told me that my test results, my low HDL, could be because I don't eat meat.
So that's your low good cholesterol?
No, that's the good cholesterol, the one that's low. The other one, the bad cholesterol, is good.
But you do eat meat. You just don't eat red meat.
I don't eat any meat.
You eat fish.
Well, fish ain't exactly a meat.
Oh my God. I'm hanging up. I'm done.
Fish is fish.
I'm done. He just said fish is not meat. Oh God. Oh.
Graham, I haven't gone yet. But 9 out of 10, I'm gonna let AB do the video. But I think that pink vibe is gonna be a killer. I think it's gonna be really, 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 really good ball.
What makes you think that?
Because with the Arctic being that good, I think that they're only gonna get better. I hope they wouldn't go backwards.
Is the pink one going to have HK22?
Yeah. Oh no, let's look. Molesky, you know what's funny about what you're saying about backups throwing backup balls at spares? I have all my two-handers practice for like 10 to 15 minutes throwing backup shots for strikes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. When there ain't no lefties and the lanes break down for righties, why not go the other way?
Yeah, if you know how to do it, why not?
Exactly. It opens up the versatility. So, yep, HJ22 on it. HJ22 CT.
Okay. Yeah, it could be good, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you really like that pink vibe, then, Graham? You like it a lot, huh? What's up, Mr. Larry? How you doing, my brother?
I thought Graham was anti-vibe.
He was until apparently the pink vibe. Look, he said he went 279, 299, 289 Friday night.
Wait, isn't he on Storm?
No, Graham's not on staff at all.
No.
I think he just has access to early balls because of PBA, and then he has access to a pro shop.
Right.
Hey, Graham, is that sanctioned or non-sanctioned?
$279, $299, $289.
That's what I'm saying. Is that sanctioned, non-sanctioned? I mean, that's an 800 dog. That's going to be all in bowl.com. I'll pull that up, put it on the channel for you.
Almost a 900.
Mm-hmm. I know most house shots vary in value. Do either one of you know what would be considered medium compared to medium heavy? Well,
For volume?
I know I'm bowling on Tuesdays in 21 mils, and that's considered low.
I'd say medium would be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 24 to 26, maybe?
Would be what, medium?
Yeah, because 27 that's where I would start to consider heavy.
Yeah.
Like yours
Yeah,
is what, 28 or something like that?
Yeah, 28.
Yeah, that I would consider high volume.
I would go 20, 24 to 27 is medium. Anything under 24 is low. Like that 21 mils, you farting, that's out of oil.
Yeah.
That's not funny, A. Stop laughing.
It's kind of funny. I would definitely prefer high volume over low. Low is miserable.
Has anybody ever bowled in a league where you I guess if you bowl in a league where you're the second thing and they don't re-oil, so you're on the burn, I guess you would see it, but
second shift?
Yeah, bowling on 21 mils. I mean, you could bowl on second shift 3 games, but if they have like 28 mils or 30 mils out there, 31, 33 mils out there, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
But if you a second shift and they put down 21 mils, shoot, you throwing the ball from the parking lot.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, it's not fun. But to all fairness, though, let's keep it a buck. I was changing my mechanics while trying to do it too.
Right.
So I feel like now that I'm stroking it a lot better, mechanic wise, balance good, posting every shot. I was like this morning's practice with AB, getting them ready for junior gold. Battling against her, I posted every shot. There's
good.
No one shot I did not post. So again, working it out. Look, Graham said nope, he was pop bowling. 700, 740 buy-in. That's not bad. So, Graham, I take it you was on the burn then. Or was that wait, that Pink Vibe active like that? Yo, they even got shirts for that vibe. They even got Pink Vibe shirts.
What?
I swear, I'm not lying.
Sounds like cap to me.
It's a pearl too, symmetrical pearl. You what? Stop the cap right there. Pink Hammer Vibe shirts.
What site are you looking at?
Bolify. I'm sorry, Bowler's Mark.
Are you talking about the jerseys?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, they have the same thing for the widows and shit.
bubblegum jerseys. You gotta be kidding me. I can imagine. I can imagine Charles wearing one of these.
Should get one for October.
What happened? Hey,
I said you should get one for October.
get what for October?
One of those jerseys.
Oh, it's not a bad idea. Or how about I got a sponsor and I'll just get a breast cancer jersey made for me.
Well, you gotta get sponsored first.
I already have one with Bolify.
Okay, so get a jersey.
I will. That's what I'm saying. I can do that for October. All right. So, well, coach, when you do a ball review, those balls are tested on your house shots. So, how does somebody know what ball to get if they're only able to afford maybe one ball? Okay, so Craig, let me ask you a question. How much are you prepared to spend on that one ball? Question. Can you give me a price range?
I have a friend that's going through this right now.
Yeah, absolutely on the burn. But I'm loving that ball. I drilled it
That's
today.
get a solid.
The same night. Get a solid. It depends on the mills.
Can we get a video before we do any official ball recommendations? Is this the first
Right.
ball?
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna tell you without saying anything. This is what I'm gonna tell you. Price range is still important because what you got to understand, Craig, is this: if you're prepared to spend $200 on a ball, you can get two for the price of one.
Or you can get one in a lesson.
Yeah, or you can get one in a lesson. I get look at Steph in the building, Craig. I understand what you're saying. You're saying you see a lot of reviews. Okay, so Craig, rule number one: when watching ball reviews on YouTube, understand who you're watching. I'm gonna put that out there because sometimes if you're on staff, you have to say the ball is good. Also, you gotta watch the ball, not the bull. The ball is part of the ball because they're rolling it, but you gotta watch the ball's reaction, and then it also boils down to the person who's actually getting the ball. So A is right. If we seen the person bowl, it becomes much easier to understand what would or wouldn't work. Now, what I can tell you is, I got a video. I dropped a video on, I don't even remember the name of it, but the video was about bowling balls, right? Uh, Building a bag for a low cost. And believe it or not, there's balls out there that are absolutely wonderful that are $100. So you can get high quality equipment for cheaper. Like A's favorite ball, the Arctic Vibe.
Right.
What up, Brad? I'll be right back. Take over, A.
Like your favorite ball, the TNT?
You know what? That TNT is like $140. So stop lying.
Not anymore, it's not.
Yeah, it should be garbage money.
Hater. No, you don't pay for quality when it comes to bowling equipment. What you're paying for is materials, and specifically with the asymmetrical balls. Typically, asymmetrical balls are going to be more expensive than a symmetrical ball, meaning the shape of the core. But he's right. I mean, whether you go with not Storm, but if you go with Rotogrip, you got the whole Hustle line. They're really good for, especially for a league type shot. You have the Max Thrills if you go with Rotogrip. What does Brunswick have? I'm sure Brunswick has a cheap line, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Oh, maybe the Vibe. If you don't like Life, you can get the Vibe. He's in the kitchen right now. Still yapping about the TNT. True. The Storm Blue Ice. It's fine. It's a spare ball. He probably wouldn't like it because he's obsessed with this idea that spare balls have to have zero diff, but I don't care because I throw the ball flat anyways. Uh-oh, Steph. Graham's here. Watch out. But yeah, there's lots of balls that are in that $100 price point. Plus, depending on when you buy, you can get some bowling balls for $100 that were once $200. I use a cheap $60 plastic spare ball. Hell yeah! I'm trying to find an old Black Beauty. I want to drill one of those and have the first ever two-handed Black Beauty spare ball. The diff is 006. Nice. Asking for my daughter who can only throw one or two balls at the most. Yeah, there's no problem with looking at that. I'd be careful. How old is your daughter? Because you don't want to. I wouldn't want someone who's trying to learn the game to have a plastic ball. So no Columbia white dots. I'd even stay away from the Axe, I think is the one that Hammer makes. None of the decorative Disney balls. If she's trying to learn the game, then I would start her out with like a Hustle or if one of the Max Thrills. And between the two, it's really whichever one she likes the look of better. There's not really going to be a quality difference between them. She averages 190, and I think she could do better. The ball she is throwing, it's about 6 years old. Wow, it's a good time for an update. Oh, sorry you're dealing with health issues stuff. I didn't know you were two-handed. Is this recent? No, not really now. It's been almost 2 years. She's 31? Okay. So yeah, get her a Hustle or tell her to get a Hustle or a Max Thrill. No Axes, no Columbia white dot. Unless she wants that for a spare ball. Spare balls are spare balls.
No Columbia white dot. That's the best hooking spare ball I ever had.
See? I won a contest and I have a pink Vibe coming to me and I'm going to give it to her. Nice.
Dang, who Stephanie say stop lying to?
If she's going to use that thing in the league, then she might want to put some surface on it.
I put some catfish on the grill, man. This stuff is fire.
Yeah, catfish is really good.
wasn't sure how it was going to turn out on the grill, though, but pretty good. Man, I was only gone for like 1 minute, and there's like 800 things I missed.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens.
You know what, A?
What?
You're going to get beat up, man.
Every day it's a new threat. I'm gonna get a threat jar.
I'm going to send Stephanie down there to get you.
Every time you or somebody from TikTok threatens me, you guys got to put money in a jar.
That's funny. You'd be rich in no time.
Right?
I know for me alone, you get a couple grand.
Exactly. Her first game usually starts out pretty good. I'm thinking for transition, she's good for that. Yeah, could be.
Dude, catfish with this grill taste, this is crazy. That's good, Red. I like that.
The blue ice.
I'd make that. I can make that .006 dance. Hey, Graham, I'm not even trying to hear you right now. I'm not trying to hear that noise, Graham. I wouldn't call them budget balls.
It's only budget in the sense that it's cheaper by cost. They're not cheaper made. You're buying less material.
See, a lot of people don't want to buy that stuff because they're like, people would be like, well, people know this cheap.
Well, they look at bowling like golf, and bowling's not like golf in terms of equipment. You're not getting any more quality out of a ball that's $220 as opposed to a ball that's $100.
Right.
They're made with the same care and the same technology.
Yep. Craig, I've thrown the Ion Pro and League.
What's up, Craig?
Huh? Hey, it took you long enough to hit that Friday reference.
I've been waiting for my time.
It took you long enough. I was just counting the minutes to how long it take you to go ahead. Go ahead, Craig.
What up, Craig?
Hey, Craig, the Pro, it's really fast, Donley. Back in, it's really fast from Donley. Look at the ball review. It's on the League Shot. I've thrown it on the Sport Shot too. I've thrown it on, I threw it on long, medium, and short patterns. And house shot, which I did the ball review. I had to touch it with 2000 to get it to calm down a little bit. That last 10 feet, that right to left is killer. I mean, Thursday, I was playing deep with that too. I don't even remember what I was playing with it. No, it was Tuesday. Tuesday, I was playing 25 to 5 with it. And it was banging. Then at some point it gets too fast. I should have probably, but since it was sanctioned, I couldn't touch it with surface. But Ethos solid. Did I throw it? No. I had no ambition. There was nothing in me that said throw the Ethos solid. Matter of fact, even A didn't say throw the ethos solid.
The
And that's a
beach ball?
weird. That's a weird one. Hey, why didn't you ever say nothing about that?
Didn't you? Wait, isn't the ethos was Columbia, wasn't it?
No, that's a Brunswick Jones.
Was it what?
That's a Brunswick Jones.
Brunswick?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. It's either Ebonite or Columbia, and it's because you hated the original.
Yeah, I sure did. I hated that one. I want to say ethos is Brunswick. Period. It
Check.
is. It is. It's regular Brunswick.
Well, that makes sense to why you didn't like it.
I'm thinking about buying a used one. I hate the prices on their new storms. Me too, because I buy every ball. I'm gonna start emailing them. I'm gonna give you very bad reviews if you don't send them to me for free. I'm just kidding. No, find what matches up with you.
Hard part about that is you don't know until either you throw a test to throw it in a test drive or you buy it.
Yeah. Because I can't even say his name, man. Because every time I got Friday reference in my head. Hey, Craig, listen. Here's what's funny, and A can testify to this. Out of all the bar reviews I throw, I don't match up with a lot of balls. Now, can I score with them? Sure, but match up the way I would like to? No, not many.
It's too damn picky.
Yeah, I am. Red. 30 to 20? You mean what? Maybe 30 to 19, 30 to 18? Hey, what would the outcome be doing at 30 to 20?
30 to 20? You're
Yeah.
not even on the right side of the head pin. Why would you want to do that?
That's what Red just said. He said Thursday I had to throw it 30 to 20.
Why would you throw it to 20? 20's
The middle.
past the pocket.
Yeah, pocket 17 and a half. 30 to the middle. The middle arrow is 20, Red. You got that right, but the pocket is at 17 and a half.
Wait,
So
is he saying 20 at the arrows or 20 at the break point? There's a big
I
difference.
think he's saying 20. I think, he's saying 30 to 20. So that had to be the break point is 20.
Well, he could be saying 30 with his feet.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about that.
And if that's the case, then he's probably throwing 20 to 10.
Oh, he said 30 to the arrow. Middle arrow. I think he was lined up with his feet. Okay, Red, I get it. Your feet was on 30.
Yeah. Feet on 30, throwing a 20.
20.
That makes sense.
See, when me and A talk, we talk arrows to break point.
Yeah.
So that's why I was a little confused. Because we definitely do. We go arrows to break point, and then that'd be about it. I mean, because your feet could be a lot of different places. Depending on what you use for alignment. The Storm Ion Pro. What ball does that remind you of, A?
The Ion?
The Ion Pro, solid.
Good question. For me, for how most people throw it, I'd say probably like a stealth.
Okay. The stuffed pearl, maybe?
No, the solid. Why would I compare it to a pearl?
Because it moves like one.
No, you're crazy.
Yeah. Really, eh? Really? You just not coming to this conclusion?
No, I've known it for the whole time, but I wanted to share it with the chat.
Oh, okay. I was at Creating a Difference last week and I saw all the cores on the table that Ron has designed, including the Black Widow core, which is in 28 different balls, made by 3 different brands.
Gas mask.
What 3 different brands use the
Wait,
gas
what?
mask core?
Yeah, what other brands besides Hammer use that? I've never heard of the gas mask going into something else.
Me neither, ever.
Cap. It's all cap.
Huh?
It's cap.
What is?
It's gas mask core going into other bowling balls besides Hammer.
Lanes were dry, the old machine was broken. Well, then you
Damn.
should have been farther left. Okay, I gotta go, fam. Get some food. You two ethics.
Gotta go get food. Take it easy,
Well,
ethics.
when I gave me the tour, the guy said they're all Brunswick brands. Well, there's 7 Brunswick brands.
Yeah, but the gas mask is not in all of them.
The gas mask ain't in any of them except for Hammer.
Yeah,
At least not that I ever seen.
I've never heard of it.
Me neither. Ever. And I do. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe they did it like Storm did with the Ion and the Ion Max and the Ion Pro Solid, where they just took the disc off.
But that's still the Storm company.
Yes. Said Ron designed that crow when he was at Ebonite. But that's funny because Ebonite doesn't use the gas mask core.
Yeah.
And if they did, I would throw more Ebonite balls.
Yeah, he designed it. He designed it when he was at Ebonite, but it didn't end up getting used in Ebonite. I think they stole the patent to it because he left. He left shortly after that.
So they sold the patent to Hammer?
Yeah, because they never used it back in the day.
That's crazy.
Did they back in the 80s? No, Ron wasn't working for them in the 80s.
He ain't old enough to be working for them in the 80s.
No, he worked for Ebonite in like the early 2000s.
You need to go to Creative Difference. I'm scheduling to be able to go. I would love to be able to sit down with him.
Yeah, he was their main R&D person for a long time. Not since the 80s, but
Yeah.
for probably 10 years.
Yeah, no. I mean, the man's he's got skills. I would love to meet up with him because I would like him to design me a core for my home ball. I mean, we got the perfect fit. So, Craig, make sure you go to Bad Bad Bowling 101, check out the perfect fit. And then next week, the SU's going up on the website too. And then we have the training. We got our training model that's going to go up. And you can have a laser on it or not. If you watch my last bar review, you'll see in my last bar review that I was using the training rig. Those will also be available for purchase at badbadbowling101.com. So we are starting to get it on. And then once we do that too, I would like to be able to also design and get a ball.
The perfect aim.
The perfect aim. You should see his prototypes that he has to show the executives. Yeah, I'm trying to get on there. I drove 6 hours round trip to go. to create a difference to get a performance fit by the pro shop and create it. Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Smart.
It's really smart. If my fit is wrong, I can't blame nobody but myself. Right, eh?
That's right.
Bad pro shop operator.
Bad pro shops.
Stephanie, you want a performance fit? All you gotta do is come on down. Come on down. You can get a professional performance fit right here. And you get some lessons with that. Give me 2 days and I'll have you yo-yoing.
I want some lessons. Can I get lessons with my performance fit?
Sure. I mean, I ain't got a problem doing that. We got to meet at Kegel and then we can drill you something down there.
Yep.
That'd be the easiest way to do it.
Right.
I mean, I have to check to make sure they'll let me drill something in their pro shop, but I don't see why they wouldn't. Ooh, when I go back down, probably in January to do my continuing education, we'll meet
In
then.
January?
Yeah.
Don't they usually have those in the summer?
No, it's in the January. Kegel only does one a year.
That's for the coaching?
Yeah. Now I can be taking the classes that equal out to your doctorate. I'm about to start taking those too, actually. Actually, hey, you should take those too.
What are these classes?
They're like master's classes. Like if you're in college, these would be considered. So you get your coaching degrees through them, and then you can take these master classes.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, well, they specialize in a certain area. So I'm saying, I when I get ready to do it, I'm gonna pay for you to do it too. We'll do it together.
Yeah, okay.
That way we can call each other idiots.
We don't got to pay for a certificate for that.
But it'd be funnier. It'd be funnier when we doing that though.
That's free.
Just so who cares? Just so you know, when you go to create a difference, if you buy a ball from them and have it drilled, you get the bull.
On Specto.
Okay. I bought a lot of games on Specto, man. I need to build a lane in my basement to put Specto on it. Training facility. I need to build my own, man. That's got to be my legacy, my own training facility.
What happened to Arizona?
I'm going to. That's where it's all happening at. And AB will be oh, I do have the room. Oh, I do. AB will be graduated along with Maddie and Lon and all them. I should have a world champion. I should have a PWBA or yeah, that'll probably be before one of the boys, but I will have a champion before that's built, and then I'll be able to, yeah, because AB will always come to my shop, but that girl's becoming a titan. As soon as she can get her mental game together, man, she's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. I'm talking, you won't want to see her. But she's got to get her mind right.
That's tough to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going through my own trials and tribulations, but I'm coming out of mine. You know what I'm saying? I just had to get something right, and now it's right. I'm good. I haven't overthrown a ball in I don't know how long. Unless I want to.
Why would you want to overthrow a ball?
Because I was having fun. I was throwing that straight spare ball, seeing if I could get into the 20 miles per hour. Question is, do you think I got there?
I wouldn't call that overthrowing a ball. I would call that throwing a ball hard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you think I got there? Do you think I cracked 20?
If you tried, sure, why not?
Hell no.
No, really, throwing straight.
Nope. My high was 19.2.
Wow.
When she gets over the outcome, I think so too. I think so too. She wants to win so bad that she gets out of her head because of it. And that's actually a really bad thing.
When she gets out of her head and she has a victory, she'll conquer it.
Say that one more time.
When when she gets out of her head and she has a victory, then she'll conquer it. Because she'll realize this whole time I was being silly and oh my God, I did this thing that coach told me to do and I was successful.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna boil down to.
She needs that moment. She needs that epiphany.
Like
And
I
for her
told, see, go ahead.
for her that's going to come in competition.
Probably. She has this thing where she wants to roll the ball. So you know how you get up there and this person bowling, this person bowling, right?
Yeah.
They're standing up there. She wants to go and roll the ball, and I'm like, "Are you? What's wrong with you?" She's like, "Coach, I can focus." I'm like, "No, you think you can, but your eyes pick all that up. This person spins right. This person spins left. This person swing their arms. Your eyes pick all that up." I'm like, chill out. Wait till they're walking back before you start. And when she does that, she will throw sevens, eight in a row. But then you know another thing she does when she's hot, she wants to go faster.
Yeah. That's normal.
You know, and I'm like, nah, slow your roll down, slow everything down, relax. You want to slow down and take your time. When you get on a run, start taking your time. Start taking
That's
your time.
that's a big challenge with bowling compared to other sports. With other sports, once you gain momentum, you want to go, right? Because you want to follow that momentum. But in bowling, you don't want to do that because it's all about just repeating the thing that you just did.
Yeah, but you can if everything about you gets faster, you can't repeat that. You can't. You just can't. And then what happens is she'll get up there and her push away becomes faster because
Right.
her and then now she's out of whack and she's off balance. And it's like, dude, seriously?
Her cadence speeds up.
Yep. Or another thing she'll do is if me and her are competing, because I'll make her compete and I will talk a lot of smack to her to make her mad. Because I'm trying to get her to be like, you know, it don't even matter. And I'll throw two or three in a row. If she leaves an open or a 10 pin, it's on. She's mad. She's heated. And I'm like, well, you even care what I'm doing. Your job is to throw one shot at a time, right? That's it. So don't worry about me. Worry about you. You can't
Right.
control what I'm doing. Not unless you run up there and hit me with a bat while I'm bowling. You know, unless she
Ah,
Nancy
the old Nancy
Kerrigan.
Kerrigan.
Yeah, unless she's doing that. You know, like you gotta chill. You gotta stay inside your own head. You know, you're your own worst enemy right now. But I'm finding it that a lot of high schoolers are like that.
Yep. They don't understand the concept. It's not you against the other player. It's you against the lanes.
Yeah. So you gotta do what the laser's telling you to do. That's like today we went in, right? And I on purpose didn't tell anybody the shot. So she lines up in the no step, she rolls the ball to LLA. And I'm like, okay, when you go to junior gold, how much time do you have? Practice time. 10 minutes. So and how many bowlers? Six. So you just wasted theoretically. I said, how would it have been if you'd have threw your first shot at five? See how it reacted. And her dad goes, well, you can't figure out what shots out there if you roll it up five. Why can't you?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
I said, why can't you? I said, so you're doing two things at once. You're rolling the ball down the lane, right? So you're loosening yourself up and you're figuring out exactly what the lanes are doing. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, you're figuring out he's like, but how? I said, okay, if you roll the ball up 5 and it hooks to the 7, that tells you what? He's like, that tells me that it has to be a short pattern. I said, now, if you throw the ball up 5 and it hooks and it goes through the nose or a little bit high, what does that tell you? It's probably a medium pattern. Okay, what happens if you throw it at 5 and the ball hits between the 6 and the 3 pin? It's probably a long pattern. Now you have your answers. So now, instead of wasting time, I can put surface on it. You get what I'm saying? Hey, you can do all those things.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, okay, now I know that. So say if it's a 34-foot, 35-foot pattern, right? So now like, okay, so now I know that because you're using your benchmark ball. So now like, okay, I can use my urethane or I can use surface on a solid, you know what I'm saying? And I can run it up the thing. And if the ball hits between the 6 and the 3 pin, you can start moving in. You can move in your next shot. You can say, okay, well, I'm gonna move another 5, so I'm gonna throw this thing up 10. See what it does. If it gives you a reaction you want, or whatever you do, you base it off that reaction. But getting into a no-step position and rolling the ball 8 miles an hour up the lane, it pretty much doesn't tell you anything.
Right. Yeah, doing a no-step, I don't see why anyone would ever do that.
No, you start right, and that one shot you throw at 5 is going to tell you everything you need to know. That's your adjustment. You can get it right, coach. You got to have the patience. Oh, I got plenty of patience, bro. Between you and her dad helping. Yeah, I got so many patience when it comes to these kids, dude. I'm not worried about I'm not worried about none of that. Right now I'm not. Because she's the Titan. It's just to get an understanding. Because here's the thing, when you're used to bowling on a house shot your whole life, when you're transferring over to a sports shot, you gotta forget the house shot rules. Yeah, Mr. Chicken's video did a heck of a job, didn't he, Red? He's about to be the spokesperson all over the place. That boy should have his own commercials. Did you see it, A?
What's that?
Mr. Chicken's perfect fit video.
Oh no! When did that come out?
You got to watch it, dude. He's so professional.
Huh.
Yeah, he's so professional. But to jump back on that subject though, that's what I'm trying to get her to understand. Don't waste any shots.
Right.
And then her dad's like, okay, so say if it's a medium pattern, right? And she sees it and it goes through the nose. What would you like her to do? I said, how about this? How about she take out the ball that's got 300 surface on it and roll the ball up 5? If it's 10 minutes of practice, you got 5 minutes over here and 5 minutes over there, right? He's like, yeah. So she's gonna get because they'll have 3 and 3, right? I said, so she's gonna get like what, 4 or 5 shots in it? He's like, yeah, normally. I said, then have her throw that ball, and then the very last shot, have her move her feet over to 25, 24, 25, 26, and bounce it right off of that spot. He's like, huh? I'm like, man, you creating the shape. I mean, maybe you don't have to jump that far, but she'll have the opportunity to see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the key, is to understand your moves, how you're going to score. And I'm like, but it's all set up by what you're seeing at first. Lining up in a no step or lining up and throwing a ball straight at 15 don't really tell you much, especially on a flat surface. So I got one more week to get her ready for junior gold. And then, so like next Sunday, it'll be a short, medium, and long pattern. I might actually I might jump live with that.
Good.
And if I'm not live, then record it so I can post it. That way you guys can see her getting ready for junior gold.
Did they release the pattern for Junior Gold early?
Nope, they don't tell you what it is at all.
Oh, it's like
You,
nationals.
yep, you go up to junior gold and they'll give you 40 minutes on each pattern, which is 3 patterns.
Uh-huh.
And it won't be the patterns that you're bowling in. It'll be something similar.
Damn.
Which, if you're going to do that, why even let them practice it? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, they're just basically just warming up their bodies. They're not going to have a clue in hell as to how to play it.
No, it's the day before you get that.
Is it on the same?
Nope.
It's not on the same. It's not the same pattern, but is it the same lanes?
Nope.
Yeesh.
Nope. Not the same lanes. Not the same pattern.
So there's no actual way to freaking practice for it then.
Nope.
Oh, dumb.
But here's the catch-22, though, A. You and I both know this. If you walk through the door, you throw that shot up the right side, you get an idea of what it is, you put the surface that you feel like you're going to need on it, and then you create what you want to create. You should be able to score. Theoretically. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell them to put down a shot for me, like Friday or something. No, that's 4th of July, but I'm going to have them do that next weekend. Just put a shot down, whatever shot. And I'm going to go in and take a 3-minute practice and see what I can score on that pattern. I'll bet you I can score pretty well. The only problem
going blind.
Yep. The only problem that I have, you know me, I don't have a problem starting out scoring. I always start out scoring very well. It's
transition.
It's that first transition move that gives me the most problems. That's my weakest spot, is that first transition. Like on Scorpion, my move isn't short. My move is actually out to 30 and turn the corner with it. And use the bounce spot that I created by running straight the first game. You know what I mean? That's the actual move that I needed to do. And that's what trips me up. But that's also the experience of not playing the pattern. And the crazy part is the team shot at nationals, the same rule applies. Play up the gutter until it burns up and then bounce off of it. If I'd have did that, I'd have scored big time. So, but that's life, though. Teach them how to be better than we are. But anyway, I'm gonna jump off because I'm gonna go eat with my family. Well, I'm gonna go eat because I'm pretty sure they already did. That catfish is fire, though. If you ain't never did on the grill before, make sure you do. And Larry, when I move to Arizona, I'm bowling with me. You have to bowl with me. And A, you know, when I come down to Florida, you better have your game ready.
Yeah.
Yep. Because there can be only one.
What are we, the Highlander?
No, we can only be one of them. Only one champion between the two of us. I'm gonna get a championship belt too, just for this occasion.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have one made.
Yep. You think I'm joking? I'm serious as a heart attack.
No, I think you're serious, and that's why it's funny.
I am. Stephanie, you gonna come down bowl with us too? Red, you can come too. Y'all can come watch.
Wait, where's Steph at?
Steph is in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
She closer than I am.
Yeah, technically. Isn't Graham down south somewhere?
Graham's in Texas.
Oh, okay.
No, Craig, this is a pleasure, man. This is what we do. I just got to start being live more often. That's all. I got to be live more often. I was going through some things, so you know what's funny, Red? My mom's upstairs. My mom lives in Georgia. She came to visit. I do got to make my way down there to visit her at some point. And when I do, I'll definitely bowl with you. Yeah, we spread all over. But Stephanie, you better make sure you get yourself ready so you can go to national with us next year. Tell your husband, say, look, we got to get ready to go to national. We're going to national with Coach C. If he says no, you tell him to talk to me.
Wait, your mom's there?
Yeah, my mom's here visiting.
Bad mama?
Yep, she upstairs.
How come she's not here? How come she's not on the podcast?
She don't want to be.
Oh, disrespect.
No, that's respect. She's 71, man. She do whatever she want to do. I got her back.
She don't like us.
Actually, she's probably watching right now. Yeah. Yep. Right after the 4th of July, that inventory stock should be in. I already got the thing from it. They already hit me with the email letting me know. Okay, well, you know you're gonna be in our prayers and stuff, and we hope you good. But you know, if you got to come in that bowl, that's cool too. You know, I might try to get some tournament. I might try to go to a tournament on the East Coast, like PA, Maryland, a couple in Florida, and I want to do a couple. And I want to do a couple of regionals in Cali.
There's some ballers out east, that's for sure.
There's some ballers out in Cali too. Texas too.
I'll grant you Texas. Cali, meh.
Oh yeah? You know Mark Becker slap you if he heard you say that.
That's okay. I'm not worried about him.
I ain't either. All right, guys. Till the next time. I didn't do a thing for Thursday. No, I was running behind. There's a lot of stuff going on. But this Thursday we will. We got 3 more weeks of Sports Shot League and then the tournament the last week. So the tournament's in 4 weeks. We're going to have to do something special for the tournament. We're going to leave that to Coach A. Coach A is going to come up with what we're going to do special for the tournament.
Uh-oh.
No, Larry, that's what I'm talking about. You can definitely come to Nassau with us at Sereno, so it ain't that far from you. Yep, you can bring your son a bowl with you. Absolutely. I'll be sending out all the information here in August so we can get squads times, preferably between May and July, but I prefer to go into June, but that's just me.
Here's what we're gonna do for the tournament. So you're gonna tell everybody that they're bowling on Scorpion, but they're really gonna be bowling on Red Death.
No, the tournament patterns are already set.
What do you mean?
It's a dual tournament.
Oh, that's no fun.
I meant what you're gonna do for the channel for the tournament.
Oh, you just took the wind out of my sails.
But yeah, no, it's the tournament patterns are already set. It's a dual pattern tournament. So I think it's gonna be fun. And then I think I'm gonna bowl on Mondays and Wednesdays in the fall. Mondays will be Sports Shot League. You know what they say, don't you, eh?
No, what do they say?
If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
Okay.
So that's why I think I'm gonna do Sports Shot League in the fall.
Good.
That makes sense. But we're bowling though. 4th of July, Friday, not Thursday. All right, but let me get out of here. Let me eat. You know, I'm a growing man.
Tell Mama C I said hi.
I'll tell her.
Everybody else, have a good night.
Yeah, everybody have a good night, guys. Later.
Peace.